Hey YouTube, Hanakin here from Geek K with another video. This will be my second video. Sorry I'm a little late. I want to try and do one of these a week. Obviously I don't have any subscription boxes yet because we're still kind of early in the month and they usually don't arrive until around the middle of the month. So probably around the 15th through the 30th of December, or January, we'll be expecting the subscription boxes. I got a couple of them that are coming now. They're on their way. But I want to do at least one video a week, and like I said before, I do a lot of purchasing and ordering of this stuff online because there's just not a lot of places to go shopping for it. So I want to do a little bit of a recap. I did get a lot of items. Apologize, there were too many to actually make one video for individual reviews and boxings. So rather than do it that way, I'm going to go a little bit handheld here, and I'm going to go over some of the figures and stuff that I have so far in my collection, and we'll show you what I have behind me here displayed already, and I'll talk through it as I'm showing it to you.
Okay, so I'm going to break this up into two sections. Let's start with the first side. Okay, so first we have the Loyal Subjects TMNT box sets. I went ahead and purchased all three of them from Amazon. These are actually more expensive figures, each set running me around $50 to $60 a piece. I tried getting it on their website, but they were all sold out on their website, so I ended up going through Amazon through some third-party sources on there. Ultimately, I really like these figures. They're posable and they come with little attachments, and you can put them in whatever pose you want. However, they are, like I said, really expensive, and I'm not sure whether or not I'll go back to them for more based on the price of them. Even though they are higher quality and a lot nicer figures themselves, I'm not a fan of the quality per price ratio that Loyal Subjects has. I just had to have these specific ones because they were really cool. So moving on to the next section, we have my Star Wars figures. The first of which I've already gone over, which is the BB-8 that we got in Loot Crate, or that I purchased myself. The second is going to be the new Force Awakens version in Cold Snow Gear of Han Solo that I got in a recent Loot Crate. I've had this one already, but so we'll move on. Next, you'll see three figures here for the original characters from Star Wars. These are actually the characters that you get with the Disney Infinity series. These ones I actually did come across in a local store. Probably the only store that I have around here that has like toy products, and they don't have much of a selection, but they did actually have the Infinity stuff. They have more video game stuff than toys in general. So I thought those were really cool figures, and although the likeness of Han Solo is kind of weird, they were still really nice figures all in all. So they're a little bit more expensive. Like I said, I paid like probably around 8 to 13, depending on which figure it was for these figures. I got a couple of other ones too, but these are the Star Wars ones. And then the rest of the figures here are actually I found in the same kind of aisle, just like little Micro Machine or little, I don't know what they were, the die cast figures. The actual like little Death Star came with is part of the Disney Infinity. It came with the Luke and Leia and that together. But the actual like ships and like the TIE Fighter and the X-Wings and the Millennium Falcon were a die cast set that I found with little display case and everything. I thought those were really cool, so I and would offset the figures themselves. So I went ahead and purchased those as well. That was also purchased in the same store locally, though. So next up, ignoring the little Minions figures for now, I'll get to those later. On the first row here, we have the complete set of Tomorrowland figures. I actually got these really cheap. I think they were like $4 a piece or something like that. From I forget the name of the site off. It's like Gemini Collectibles, I believe it is. They have some really good deals and some really cheap figures. And you should definitely check them out. They don't have like a very good website per se. It's kind of hard to navigate. But I scoured there and found a lot of good deals. And pretty much anything they had that was under $6, I went ahead and purchased because it was just really cheap, and it's a good way to get a bunch of figures that you really like. Same with the top 3 figures, same site, everything. The Pixar figures, I really like the Pixar figures, so I went ahead and bought these 3 figures. Looking to get more, but these were just the ones that were actually on sale. So next up, my Marvel's figures. For the first row, I pretty much had all these last video. The Y'all Know I got in, I think, Geek Fuel, and then the starting on the left, Deadpool and Groot I purchased from Amazon, and then I actually got for those of you who have Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Collector's Core, those 2 little figures there came in Marvel Collector Core for December. Going to the top row, you'll see the 2 Ant-Man figures. I believe I got both of these from, again, Gemini Collectible. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's where those 2 came from. And they were really cheap as well. I think they were like $6 figures because they're very common. And then on the outsides, you have the Groot and the Hulk, which were also purchased locally in the store. They did the Disney Infinity versions of them, which are, like I said, really nice figures, all in all, even though they're for a video game. So I really like those and went ahead and purchased them. So next up, one of my favorite ones that I'm working on. I'm actually have the entire series on order from various places. They just haven't arrived yet, and I'll review those once they come in. We have the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. I'm a huge fan of Joss Whedon, and this was the first show that I actually got into that kind of got me started or hooked on Joss Whedon. So I purchased the original Buffy and Spike first because those were my favorite characters from the show. From Toy Wiz, I believe it's called. And then I had to, of course, purchase the rare, the more rare version of Spike, the Chase Edition, Vampire Edition of Spike from eBay, which came, I think, yesterday. That was the most recent acquisition that I got. But the rest of them are on their way, including 2 other rare ones that I ordered through eBay as well. So I'll have the whole series for that. Okay, so moving on to the other section, I'm going to go over the last 2 places. I'm not going to cover the top sections by themselves, so I'll cover them from here because most of those came in subscription boxes, and I've had them. So you have obviously the Marvel mugs right above the Marvel section. On the right here, you have the 2. On the top right, you have those 2 little. They're actually salt shakers, and then on the left here, you have some stuff that came in loot crates. And then, like I said, there's a bunch of little minions spread around, but we'll get into those here in a minute. So first up on this section, we have kind of my overflow section. These are just onesie-twosies, not really necessarily part of a set or anything, with the exception of the top 2 there. I have the Ender's Game, Petra, and Ender, which I believe came as a set for $12. Also from Gemini Collectible. I recommend the company. They have some really good deals for some of the more common pops, but what they don't have is they don't have a huge selection of newer stuff, and their site is kind of crap. Next, we have the 2 figures from Fifth Element, which I actually ordered off of, I think those actually came off of Amazon as well, but I had those previously. And then next we have the robot in the center here from the Iron Giant, and I think that one also came from Gemini Collectibles as well. And then finally, we have the last figure there, which is Elf on the Shelf, which was just a throw-in. I actually got it from Gemini's Collectibles. It was like $3 because I bought one, got one free for my little nephew or whatever. They had a deal on or something like that because he likes the Elf on the Shelf show. And then on the front, I have Holdor from Game of Thrones because I really love that character. I'm probably not going to get any or collect any of the Game of Thrones figures because I'm not that big of a fan of those figures. But I'm a fan of Holdor. Like he's my favorite character from the show, and even though he wasn't in this last season at all, I think I'm not sure. Whatever. Uh, I had to get that one. And then on the right, I think I purchased this from a while ago from I'm not sure if it was Amazon or ThinkGeek or something like that. Um, some random site, but it's obviously Ted with the beer bottle from the new Ted 2 movie, which I really enjoyed the movie, so I wanted to get the pop figure as well. Okay, this next one, there's not very many in each display, so I'll kind of combine them. On starting on the left here, the actual Doc Brown, I have received that plus the little. Yeah, I don't know if you can really see it here. The minions kind of sitting on a hoverboard. That actually came in a loot crate, the October loot crate of 2015, and then obviously I wanted to complete the set, so that since that was an exclusive, the other exclusive is the Marty Pop on the hoverboard, which actually is an exclusive from I think fun.com or something like that. I don't know. It's the only place you could purchase it, so I went to fun.com and purchased it. It wasn't expensive or anything. The site was okay. I haven't really bought anything else from there, but I'll look into them more and see what they have to offer. Maybe we'll do a review on them or not or whatnot. I don't know. We'll see. Moving to the right there, we have the Mr. Potato Head Pop, or Mr. Potato Head, not Pop, but I forget, taters or something you call them. I'm not sure, but it's obviously Darth Vader. This actually came in the special Star Wars crate from Loot Crate that I opted in for, where I actually got the shirt that I'm wearing right now, which is a BB-8 shirt. Um, the I also got some other items in there as well, but I think those were the main two big. Oh, there was a BB-8 mug, which I don't actually have right now. They're sending me a replacement because the one that they sent me was shattered, which they actually like spot on them. Like I sent them a message, hey, here's some photos of this giant pile of broken ceramic, and they responded within a day and said, "Yep, we'll send you one, send you tracking information." And the next day, sure enough, I got tracking information, and I got well, they sent me a tracking link that didn't work, so I don't know where it is right now, but it should be on the way. Um, but we'll see, and I'll display that and review it when I get it. But moving on, we also have the little. This is actually the Q Pop Batman that we received in Loot Crate, as well as the little wooden Joker thingy. I'm not sure where that came. It came in a crate, but I'm not sure if it was either Loot Crate or Geek Fuel. One of those as well. But that does it for these ones. Okay, so last up, and definitely not least, this is probably the largest display I have at the moment. And plus, you've seen, like I said, all of the little minions floating around all over the place because I have a lot of them. As far as the pop figures go, I got 5 pop figures, 3 in the first row from the series. I'm still looking to get the rest of them. I want to complete this series from the actual minions, and then the 2 in the top series are actually from Despicable Me. All of them were purchased relatively cheap. I think they were all $6 each from again Gemini Collectibles. Now the little figures, um, I bought 2 series of 8 figures from Amazon. One set's different because they're not solid vinyl. They're kind of rubbery, and those I think were like $8. And then the other 2 series, there's 2 more sets of 8, all different poses and whatnot. Those I think were like $10 each. So all in all, I think I paid $28, and I got what 8 times 3 public math, 24 figures. So that to me is actually a lot for my money because that's almost you know a it's less than $1 a figure, something like that. Maybe I'm not sure. Public math, whatever. But uh, so that's where all these came from, and I really enjoyed the Minions themselves. Not really a big fan of the Minions movie. I more prefer Despicable Me Minions, but I digress. I still love the concept, the characters, and the designs and whatnot of them. So yeah.
Okay, so there you go. There you have it. That's pretty much everything that I have right now. I'm just getting into collecting, um, and as such, another idea I had for a sort of segment that I can do is I have a background in and experience in designing and developing websites. And since I do a lot of online ordering, I'm very critical and very technically inclined when it comes to using their websites. So to me, if I come across a website that's extremely hard to use, extremely hard to navigate, or not very user friendly, that's really kind of insulting on me personally, because that's what I do for a living. So I want to do some sort of review of the different sites that I frequent, what could be better with them, what's wrong with them, should you use them. I'm not sure. I want to play around with it, so look for some of those videos to come in the future. I'm still trying to narrow down exactly how I want that to go about. Also, some other announcements. I am currently still working on the sound. I'm looking to maybe purchase a lavalier mic, ones you like clip on, to try and reduce the amount of echo in here. It's, like I said, really bad, and I'm looking to try and make the lighting a little bit better. I'm not sure how well that is yet. I'm still toying with that, and as you can see, it's a different setup and a different position for the camera as well. So we'll see how that works and whatnot. But I am also currently working on putting together an intro for the channel, as well as some artwork for accompanying the actual page, and some other projects that are ideas that I have that I'd like to that are still in the early stages of fruition, but we'll see how they pan out. I'm not sure, but that's all I have for now as far as updates. But be on the lookout. Like I said, I'm going to try and post one of these a week. If not a subscription box, I'm going to do some sort of review, whether it's an unpacking or a review of something that I've ordered, or something, some kind of review of maybe the websites that I was saying. But look for at least one video a week. I'm hoping to try and meet that deadline. We'll see how well I stick to it. You guys can be the judge and jury on that, and make me stick to it with your comments and subscriptions, and inspire me more to put some of these out. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you come back for the next video.